Hello explorers and welcome to another gameplay video. Today I'm gonna play Kona and I don't know much about this game. It's something to do with the detective story, and that's pretty much all I know about it. I watched the trailer, which didn't say much either. So what really got me excited to play Kona was the visual art style and so on. It's very realistic and yeah, very beautiful textures and so on. So I'm really looking forward to get into this story, and perhaps it's a really interesting murder case or some missing thing that we need to find. It's an adventure type of game, find hidden clues and so on, I think. So yeah, let's get into this. And oh, nothing has been played yet, so let's start there. And we are loading. Loading, 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 load high. Hope there isn't the long loading screens as I had in the Solar project. Yeah. Northern Quebec, October 19th.
Carl Faubert sought information for a living. That is to say that ever since he returned from Korea, after having served with the armed forces, he had been working as a private investigator in Montreal. William Hamilton, a rich industrialist, had gotten in touch with him regarding a simple vandalism issue. Nothing to write home about. Not worth hiring a private eye either, just so he can drive for hours on rough roads. But that's how it had always been. The client pays, Carl gets it done.
Okay.
They had set up to meet at the general store, his client's business. Well, actually, the entire village had William Hamilton's name written all over it.
So the 70s, when you still were smoking in the car. I've been told that my parents smoked when they were driving, and I can't even imagine how you could...
When the roads were bad, muddy, or snowed in, it was customary around these parts to close them off. But it was also customary to ignore those signs entirely and drive there anyway.
Okay. So I remember that my parents have told me that they smoked when they were driving the car, but I can't even imagine driving a car and... oh, E for interact. And smoking, because there should be so filthy air inside of the car. So. Okay, it will be good. Yeah, so the view is good. Northern Quebec and its inexhaustible resources. The province of Quebec sits on the inexhaustible abundance of natural resources. Why not take the advantage of this? Our valuable minerals could travel the world and reach places far as Dallas, USA. Get involved and invest now. Quebec's economic might will be awakened. That it's strangely hard to say. At the heart of the wilderness, the north is swarming with the wolves, caribinous bears, partridges, foxes, snow owls, and hordes of other majestic creatures that are every bit as equal to the African wildlife. We are the Africa of America. Come discover the North and experience genuine white jungle. Snowy jungle, I would say. But partridge and caribous? Well, I need to Google that, because I haven't heard about those animals. So, were there more pages here? Page 2. And the back. The country of Manastan. Its people wish you to see you very soon. Okay. So here we have a map. Can't pick the map up. Okay. Can't use the phone either. So let's close the door here. So no looting. Let's watch the ooh. Some masks. Seems genuine. They have had a really good craftsmanship. They look like real faces. So well done on the inhabitants of this place. They are really good at sculpting a tree, at least. So loot box, and we get fire starter kit and a bolt cutter. So I guess that there was something that we didn't see on the actual barrier over there, that you couldn't open it because you had to clip it open, I guess. But I hadn't come to that. I think this tower is much more interesting than the actual gate. So, any trash? Oh, a bottle. An empty bottle. More trash. Looting! Oh, 2 miles.
Carl was meeting his client in a store near this area. He was on the right track.
Okay. So I guess I'm Carl then. Break the lock.
Still not a soul in sight. There was no point in waiting any longer. Carl had to figure this one out by himself. Hamilton is waiting for Carl in the general store. It was time for him to get down to business. Hamilton never meant a blocking barrier. Why was it needed here in the back of Beyond? That would, however, be a mystery for another day. Carl had waited long enough for someone to come and raise it. William Hamilton enjoyed a lavish country house built in the very heart of the northern forests, not too far from here. The local populace was divided when it came to the affluent man. Some saw a wealthy philanthropist dedicated to improving the region's economy. Others, an aging Englishman who would do anything to further his fortunes. And those ones hated him enough to go on about scheming against him.
A lot of masks.
Hamilton had recently acquired a few local businesses, but the last straw was the reopening of a mine, which gave rise to a wave of protests and threats from the Cree people. Given these circumstances, Carl reckoned that a good number of people must be feeling compelled to oppose Hamilton in one way or another. So far, only the industrialist's house had been a target, but soon enough, Carl thought, the target would become the man himself.
So I can't step out?
Carl was dying to stretch his legs, but he had to stay focused on the task at hand.
Okay, so we can't go out and look at the trash. So much littering. Okay, so the radio station didn't go this far. So this is really far out then. We changed the channel. Okay, so you pushed the gas pedal to the metal when I actually slowed down. That's weird. Something wrong with the accelerator? A few hours later, so he took a nap. Interesting.
Carl needed to get out of there. The cold and the pain required urgent care.
Okay. Interesting. So, welcome to Kona! Nice. Okay. So we have the other car. So do we have any supplies here? Play chains? Do we have any chains?
Complaining was not in Carl's nature.
Withdraw. Fire starter, okay. Deposit. What do we have? We have a lot of pictures and fire starter, cigarettes, empty bottle, matches, okay.
Would take more than light injuries to interrupt his investigation.
Haven't gotten any chains, I guess. Let's see if there is any snow chains in the other car over here. Nobody here.
The driver had taken off. It was still best to check it out and leave nothing to chance. Carl needed help. It was a small, locked box engraved with the letters W.H. Carl thought about taking it. Nothing was to be left to chance.
So I guess you have a choice if you would like to take things or if you like to leave them. So I guess that we will be framed for something because
Such heart-wrenching Nordic poetry that was. But Carl didn't care much about flowery language.
Isabel, you gave meaning to everything. When you disappeared, so did purity. I would defend purity against the winds, the tides, against the ice and the blizzard. Okay?
It was so cold. Already Carl did not feel his toes anymore.
Okay. So it's a survival game as well? First aid serves to heal Carl's wounds. Okay. So can we use it now? Equipment, camera, map, journal, flashlight, no. Documents, inventory, fire starter, matches, no. Consumables. Heal a bit, I guess. So we're still freezing. But we
This
don't...
deep in the country, his last hope was to find an abandoned garage or a farm by the roadside. His life depended on it.
Let's go down here and look. Sudden Atom. Ah. Prevent him from freezing to death.
Cold turned into pain. Carl needed to find someplace warm.
Okay. Start a fire, yeah? We need logs, we need a match and a fire starter. We have fire starter, but we don't have any logs. Okay. So I guess that we need to go out and fetch a log then?
Carl couldn't give up. Surely something in there could be useful.
Take a few logs. So let's do this. There we go. So now we have heat. Somebody was being...
Even better than he had hoped. Carl Faubert had succeeded once more, and was now on his way to new adventures.
Okay. So it was the change we were looking for. And now we are all good, so... Let's... Then, can we open the door? Thank you. So that was conveniently placed. Very conveniently placed. I hope our car is still left here. It is. So let's lay change. Just that we need to drive carefully because we don't see anything in this weather. Let's see if we can get there. But this blister came like... oh, Jesus. Darn weather. Came in a few hours? We must have been sleeping longer than that. Really strange. So here we have...
Spread out on a few acres of untouched forest, bellowing caribou, everlasting snow, and undefiled lakes. The Manistan region was no tourist hub. It was said to have been populated for millennia by Cree people, and ever since the industrial era, by the metal mining industry.
So I wonder if we were supposed to go in here, but let's head over here and see. So there's a house. That's probably not where we... that's Roy's house. But our goal was to go to the town, right? So now we know where Roy lives. See if we can get into the general store in town. We are still going for that. Part of our journey. Let's follow the main storyline. Because we don't know Roy.
Running on fumes. Good thing that the general store was close by.
So we will be required to go back to Roy's without the car then, I guess. So that's going to be an interesting journey. Okay. So we found the general store. Here we can get some new gas if we like.
A milkman had to drive by every week to fill the bottles. The fresh milk indicated a recent visit.
Okay. So I guess that there could be a lot of other things.
Something fell to the bottom of the box.
We need a key to unlock the box to get that. Okay. So
Carl had no trouble recognizing his employer. He had been killed. There was no need to be a detective to figure that out. But only a detective could have noticed that the killer had to have been very close, that the fatal blow had been given before the victim even realized.
Masterful. Now that's a picture. So, cheap.
What could be inside that envelope? Carl was taken aback. He knew this address. It was said to be the address of the P.O. box for the Canadian Secret Service.
Intriguing. So, John Vogue, Montreal. Let's read this. Or not.
Carl felt a chill down his spine and had a terrifying realization. If Hamilton was dead, then who was going to pay him?
Now that's always a problem. So, documents? Envelope?
What could be inside that envelope? Carl was taken aback. He knew this address. It was said to be the address of the P.O. box for the Canadian Secret Service.
Well, then open it. Read. Okay. So we can't open it, we just have the envelope. Really annoying sound. Can we turn that off, please?
An explosion suddenly occurred outside.
Okay, so we need the keys. Let's close that. I guess that we could put something else in and get the other part to open. Yeah, so we got that turned off at least. Good. So move the ladder. We get some medicine. So let's see, we can climb up. So somebody turned off the light. Okay. I don't have any problems seeing things, so...
According to that log, it seemed like the whole village owed some money to the general store. Carl was far more interested in the bunch of nearby addresses he had just gotten his hands on, though.
Interesting. And we have more keys. So many keys. Garage key this time. So... we are getting a lot of items. Now we have checked all these. So I wonder if somebody pulled the plug on... see here if we can turn the flashlight on. We can. Flash it! Go through here and see... oh, there's something interactable over there. Let's go there. Oh! A lot of interactables.
A radiator without power is as good as a wood stove without logs.
The place is a mess. You don't say. Somebody has been in here and ruffled it up a bit. Secretary could have be luxury in here, okay. Cash register instructions. Open the cash register. Punch the price, 2 numbers minimum. Press sale. Turn the crank 2 times. Punch the machine if it doesn't work. Well, I did that without actually realizing it. Quebec! Klondike! The northern Quebec economy is booming. The north of Chibougamau area population will soon reach 30,000 souls, among which thousands of happy families will be prospering thanks to the hard labor of their fathers, who will be contributing valiantly in the expanding Quebec's national wealth. Mines and hydroelectric, hunting and fishing, the true Canadian dream. Turn it into your reality now. The mines and a sector in full expansion. Did you know that since the 1960s, Canada tripled the amount of resources royalties it collects? Did you know that a country's true source of richness is lying under your very feet? At this very moment, the building of our schools and our hospitals depends on minerals. Exploiting our resources, the road to our future. The country of Matterton. Wish to see you very soon. I see. So a lot of interesting... oh, they have taken everything from the different General store also serves as a post office for the locals. And not much has been left in a box. So there have been some kind of robbery. The electricity is turned off. Let's see here, and on, and
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
so remove the garage. Turn the switch. Electricity from the generator. Okay, so off. And these could be both off at the moment. So, some wolves.
Maintaining his composure, Carl recalled something from his military training. Wolves always stay away from populated areas. Wait, was it about bears? Carl was no electrician, but he could identify a wiring problem when he saw one.
So we need pliers. Where do we find pliers? We have eventually found some... Oh, more documents. Torn paper. Let it be known.
Hate was in the air. Seems like some villagers barely tolerated each other.
Let it be known you're nothing more than a brigand, a robber, a garbage hoarder, a viper, a leech, a monster. You're holding a knife at my throat. Too bad for me, but... Okay. You don't say. So, do we have anything else here that we need? We can start a fire over here if you like. We got a lot of supplies for that. And we have the garage. Okay. A lot of stuff in here too. Cleanest spot in the area. With all the cleaning. Yeah, funny. Okay, that's hardware. Okay. Wonder what we are... Ah, we found the pliers! Great. So maybe we blew a fuse, or we didn't. No, thank you. Could be that they are saying something interesting on the radio, but... yeah, I doubt it. So let's see if we can get into the car. It could be interesting. Nope. Nope, 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 nope.
Staring intently at the controls won't be enough to make that lift budge. The poor thing was out of power.
Yep. So I guess that we need to lift the car somehow. Can we turn our car off, perhaps?
Given the circumstances, leaving with an empty tank would be a death warrant. Carl had to refuel.
Yeah, I know, but... Oh.
The murder weapon. What was that doing there, Carl wondered. Hamilton must have been determined to keep some information secret to post this key. Shame he got unlucky. Everything made sense now. Poor Hamilton's denunciation was interrupted, and he figured it would be best to lock everything up and send the key to his correspondent, who would receive the box later on. Clever, but not enough. That's what happens to ordinary people playing spy.
It is as a citizen of Her Majesty and the free economic chambers of the world that I must address what follows to be a proper authorities. The worst is happening at this very moment. I cannot write at length, but I'm requesting immediate help from my country. I believe the free world is in grave danger. A member of the community, the Honorable someone, has done something. That's no good. So we have the murder weapon now, so we are complicit, I guess. That's no good. So we can fix the generator. Yeah. So let's start by turning the store on. Yeah, we have the store power. Can we find anything new now that we see things? I wonder. Oh, that annoying record player. Turn it off. Please. Okay, so the pump is now on, so we can...
The snowstorm pummeled everything in its path. Carl was not surprised when he heard no tone. Carl knew that Gilles Lachance was in charge of the general store. That made him one of Hamilton's employees. A very angry employee, as Carl could plainly see.
You know what, Hamilton? I have a frog in my throat. And when people have frogs in their throat, they do not take risk by going to work. Customers would catch it, right? I'm a wise man. Not to worry. I will have a nice doctor's note, which I'm going to get right now. Sadly, in the meantime, I will have to close down the shop unless you would like to come fill in for me. I wouldn't dare advise you after all. You must know how it's done, since it's yours now. With kind regards, your dedicated manager, Giles. Okay. So, now we can pump some gas if we like, and we have the light switch we can turn on and off, if we so desire as well. So, do we have any more clues that we could gather here now that the light is on? Oh, mysterious unbranded cans. It's Soylent Green. It's good for you. Oh, more fire starters. Great. Got a load of those, huh? So let's give ourselves some gas, I guess. Start with that. Pump some gas here.
Carl knew straight away where to find the infuriated Gilles Lachance. Any good investigation would have to start there.
Probably, but I'm more interested in actually looking at the garage now that I have the chance. So let's do that. Turn on the garage and turn off that. Let's go to the garage and see what we can find over here. Could be something fun. Or else we go to Giles and take a word with him. So, we have a crowbar.
The crowbar was stuck under the lift.
Okay.
Notwithstanding Carl's imposing stature, car lifting wasn't part of his skill set yet.
I'll have more on it, right? Ah, we got the crowbar.
At long last, the crowbar was within Carl's grasp. Surely it would come in handy at some point.
Yeah. So can we use the lift again? No, we can't. Swing the crowbar. Yeah. So, do we have anything that is stuck? Take out the camera.
Carl was used to strange phenomena, but a chunk of ice like this, as if an iceberg came out of the ground, that was a first.
We keep that picture.
Carl found a surprise at every turn. Was the camera faulty, or was it a possible lead?
We have the outhouse. Nothing fun in here.
Carl was beginning to know the store and its surroundings like the back of his hand. The Seeker had sought.
Intriguing.
The Polaroid, Carl's long-standing and faithful ally, had seen its share of husbands caught red-handed cheating. There's always something out there waiting to be snapped away. All of a sudden, Carl felt like he was pulled inside a world of dreams, a cold, unknown dimension. Somehow, self-control was slipping from his grasp.
What the beep? Mysterious journal.
This was a hunting log. Better yet, a war diary.
The beast enjoys long slumbers. Its sanctuary seems impregnable. The ice is everywhere. I need to exercise patience and wait for it to come out. To think like a hunter. The beast often invades the settlements bordering the lake. It terrorizes the white people. They never see it coming, but they feel its presence, a cold dread grabbing at your innards. The beast excites the wolves, making them more aggressive. One attacked me, and I had to cut its throat. The blade digging into his flesh made it the sound of a taut wire. The beast is getting closer to the villagers. Its moves at night brings heavy snow and strong gusts of wind. Along with it, I tracked it to no avail. I do not know the white man frozen in ice, but I do know this. It's the work of the beast. Its attacks curled the blood of its victims. White men know nothing of this force of nature. I touched the ice-piercing white man and I saw things, but I do not understand them. Okay, interesting. So let's continue following this backtrack. And we have...
What could
necklace.
These engraved numbers mean?
739
suddenly appeared before Carl.
739. So we are really getting out here. What? We got back to a car? Is this our car? Gill's wallet.
Carl had that feeling you get when you immerse your frozen hands in hot water. What happened? Now at least he knew who the unfortunate man petrified in ice was. Gilles Lachance, the general store's manager himself.
Interesting. Well, I think this is a good place to take a little break. I'm gonna do that. And yeah, I hope you liked this video, and I really hope to see you in the next one.